So today I'm delighted, I'm thrilled actually, because this has been something we've been wanting to do for a while. We have the region's top employer for our 10th anniversary. Isn't that special? The Upper Canada District School Board employs 4,300 people, with nearly 1,400 in Leeds, Grenville alone. So that's our top employer in the region. I'd now like to invite Stephen Sliwa, Director of Education and Secretary for Board of Upper Canada District School Board, as well as we have Grace, right? Grace, who is a 2017 graduate from North Grenville and now attending Trent University. This is about our workforce and our youth, and I'm pleased to have them come be a part of our 10th anniversary summit. Stephen, Grace, join us up here.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for your kind welcome, and a special thank you to Anne, who has walked us through every step of the way to make sure that we brought to you what we think is very important, which is to talk about your future employees and our current students. We want to make sure that we talk to the group today about how we can help each other to engage in some idea building about the design that school programs need to consider as we look about how do we keep people in the Leeds-Grenville area, not as just former students, but as future employees of yours. And also to make sure that when we're doing this, that we're taking time to carefully create school programs that fit with local needs and the local economy. Also, you're going to hear today from your future generations of workers. We have Grace Marr here, who, as you heard, is a graduate of the local community here in Kemptville 2 years ago. We had another student with us, Claire Baker. Unfortunately, Claire was delayed by the snow from this morning, but I do have some comments to share on Claire's behalf because she's worked so diligently to present for today. We would want to make sure that her voice was heard. So before we start, let's talk about the now, and let's talk to you by the numbers. As you heard from Anne this morning, we have the privilege of being a very large employer and a $370 million business in the Leeds-Grenville area. Our base is in Brockville, but we work in all of the counties that would follow Leeds, Grenville, Lanark, Prescott, Russell, and Stormont, Glengarry, and Dundas. By design, our school district has elected trustees, many of you would know that, and they have set direction for a strategic plan which meant including connecting with communities. What is really important about this is that we recognize communities in a very broad sense because we are part of those 103 municipalities, towns, villages, and cities that you heard Warden Jones speak to earlier this morning. Our Board of Trustees wants to make sure that they know that we can't do our work of preparing students for the future, which is their primary mission, without your help and your support, because in the end, it's a shared interest here. We prepare students who are going to be good people, literate and numerate, hardworking, and in response to that, we hope that they have a place to work and grow after they graduate. Many of us in the room have been graduates from high school, not in the recent future, or recent past, I should say. So we want to make sure that you know how we provide education for students, particularly in the grade 9 to 12 area. We must follow the Ontario curriculum that's set by the province of Ontario for creating high school courses for our students. This slide shows one method, however, how we expose our students to a focus on business and entrepreneurship. Because we certainly believe that when students study about business and study about entrepreneurialism, they'll think very seriously about starting their own businesses. You heard a great example from that just before the break. We want to have many, many students be people that you can rely on providing goods and services in Leeds and Grenville. This slide shows the one method that we're using, however, that students can, in the Upper Canada District School Board and across Ontario, select courses in business studies. The slide shows entrepreneurship, which is a grade 11 course, and a business leadership course in grade 12. We've got 16 classes being offered that way in Upper Canada, and we have 252 students that are taking those courses this year. What I want to share with you, however, is that we have 8,000 secondary school students in Upper Canada. So 252 students falls far short of what we really hope that they're doing when we want them to think about business. However, what we are discovering is that there's a second method that students are very, very interested in, and that is a way of focusing on being a member of the workforce of the future. We're discovering that our students are not so much interested in learning about business, they're interested about learning about work. And they're learning about how and where they can do work over the next many years. This is a concept that's introduced in the province of Ontario called the Specialist High Skills Major. So what that program's all about is that students do their regular diploma credits to earn a high school diploma, and also do this special program that focuses on industry-specific learning that is very attractive to our students. So over 1,000 students, if you look at those yellow circles, at the very bottom, over 1,000 students are taking this kind of program. That's 5 times the number of students that are taking business studies credits. So this is very attractive to them. And in the Upper Canada District School Board right now, our target is to have 25% of our students by 2022 taking these courses. Here's another specific example for schools in the Leeds Grenville area in secondary schools. I really want to highlight, though, the Rideau District High School community that's out in the Rideau Lakes area. We had a presentation at our school board just this past week that indicated that over 40% of the students in grade 11 and 12 are taking these specialist high skills majors. What we see as a trend is that we see students taking this as a majority of their focus while in high school. And that's a very important message for people that run businesses, that are part of business associations and chambers of commerce, because we really do think that we have something special here that's occurring. And it's not just, again, in the Upper Canada School Board, it's across Ontario. What I do want to draw your attention to is how we acknowledge this special learning. We offer a Red Seal diploma, and a Red Seal diploma says something special to parents and to their families and to students when they go out to try to find work, that they have already taken certifications that leads to immediate employability in businesses in Leeds, Grenville, and beyond. So an example of that is where students are taking, for example, a focus on food studies or hospitality. One of the things they would be taking is about Smart Serve. Another thing they would be taking as a certification is about food handling courses. Again, these are all very well prized and well-respected certifications in the business community. Here's what we're hearing from employers, however. What we're hearing is that from the local labor market study is that there's a difficulty in terms of readiness and fit. We're aware of the key findings from the local labor market planning report, and the school board understands the difficulty, certainly, of finding skilled labor, including potential employees that have French language skills and a background in accounting. Those are areas that we find hard to maintain people with those skills, and we're trying desperately to attract those folks, both as teachers and as employees in our central office. So we have a shared interest in being part of the discussion about fit, readiness, and the availability of skilled workers, just as our local labor market study has shown us. For the right reasons, at the right time, we need to listen to the next generation of workers, and this is the right time right now. So I'm going to invite Grace Maurer to come up and to talk to you about what is it that she needs as a representative of her generation to be attracted to Leeds Grenville and to stay in Leeds Grenville as one of your employees.
All right, so as mentioned, my name's Grace, and I'm a second-year business student specializing in HR and marketing at Trent University. I want to start off by saying that it's an honor and a privilege to be presenting to all of you today. I've been asked to answer the question of what I would be looking for to return to Leeds and Grenville area as my next place to live and work. The top 3 factors that would attract me to come back and start a life here are job opportunity, cost of living, and convenient and attractive services. Our generation is looking for engaging work and engaging workplaces. We need to be able to find job opportunities that provide the same competitive advantage that the big city corporations have in a smaller town. The cost of living in bigger cities has become unachievable for most, let alone recent graduates. But the opportunities that come with living in big cities are a huge attraction to us. Businesses need to be able to offer the same opportunities as top employers do in larger cities, such as flexible work arrangements, technology-rich and open space environments, and a career opportunity with challenge, training, mobility, and promotion. Millennials and Generation Z are the highest education generations to date. Our top priority is to be successful in life. With that being said, we're known for working hard, but we're also known for playing hard. Having a rural town that provides the same urban blueprint as larger cities do is very important for us, as we're a very social generation as well. Having walkability to coffee shops, breweries and distilleries, restaurants, having trails to be able to hike on and enjoy nature, having sport facilities and easy access to local produce and natural foods are all very important parts of this generation's life that we don't want to lose. We're looking for businesses and communities to make our priorities your priorities. So my question for all of you today is, what are you open to? What are you open to change within your business and community to have the competitive advantage of attracting and retaining this generation?
So if Mayor Herb Scott's here, he'd know that he would have an Athenite here today. Claire, however, because of the weather, wasn't able to join us, but she did work very hard and diligently on her presentation, looking forward to the event. So she did send her thoughts as well. You'll be not surprised how closely it aligns with what Grace just shared with you. Same generation, 2 years behind where Grace is right now, but Claire says, what I believe would keep youth such as myself in Leeds and Grenville area is, after post-secondary education, are amenities. In order for me to stay happy in this area, there needs to be these sort of facilities and opportunities available. I would need a medical center nearby in order for me to feel comfortable that if something were to happen to myself or my family, I could find assistance. I would need to know that my family could as well stay nearby if they chose to, and that would also include living close to one another. That includes a retirement home for potentially my parents. I just thought that was quite interesting. And by the way, her mom did help her with this, so this is full disclosure. And a good school for my kids to be able to attend without a long commute, and this is very important for us as a school district. Coming from a small town and hoping to come back here, she's a resident of Athens, I know that it may be difficult, as sometimes schools this small may not stay open forever. Right now, I can walk to school and have all my life, and have so all my life. I work, and I worry that this privilege will be difficult to attain in the future. If everyone who lived in our towns stay at the school closest to them, our local schools will be able to stay open and keep our children from having to travel to school. As well, along with schools, I would need employment for me and my family. If there are no schools in town, it makes it difficult for me to stay in Leeds, Grenville, since I'm hoping to work as a teacher. I would also need an active town. I would need facilities such as cafes or an arts center where music is performed, and workout facilities or recreation sports clubs where my family and I could stay active. Overall, amenities are needed in order for people to stay in the Leeds-Grenville area. I know that Claire's not here today, but would you give her a round of applause, because she did work hard. And we'll share with her that we were appreciative of her thoughts. My big question to you today in the room is, can you help us to plan for 2028? This is a picture of the opening of the new Kempville Public School, just down the road from the Municipal Center here. Beautiful site, and on your way out, if you want to take just a half-kilometer drive, look for it on the left-hand side. A beautiful facility, and we remain thankful for all the local support and the provincial support to build that school. We have many of our dignitaries that are here in the room today that were at that opening. We thank them for making that time, for being there. It's hard to see at the bottom of the photo, but what you'll see is the graduation date for all those students. The longest time we have to get this clear is the graduation date of the class of 2029, which is, I believe, the young fella on the far right-hand side beside me who's cutting the ribbon with us. But you'll see students there who have a graduation date of 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029. So within the next 8 to 9 years, we need to have a plan that's going to be serving them, responding to them, and to their needs. What is the roadmap that we should have for the 2028? We need to hear from you, and we need to do this so we can plan together. That roadmap needs to reflect the idea that I shared with you earlier, that students are not so much interested in business, they're interested in working and about work. And one of the ways that we're making that connection now, connecting young children who are not in high school yet, and then our high schoolers, is by creating experiential learning experiences, working and reaching out to community businesses to help us with that. We have 2 examples there. The example at the very top is a Grand Pals concept, where students from the Vanier Public School in Brockville go to a local seniors resident. This is more than service learning, however. This is about developing an understanding about where do seniors reside at a special point in their life. What does it mean to support them? Who do people who work there, what do they do in order to get prepared for that kind of work? Is it enjoyable work? Do you feel like you're making a contribution? And then lastly, at the bottom of that slide, there's a picture of a young fellow from Athens District High School who's at the high skills competition. As you heard earlier, that we do value apprenticeships. We are trying to make sure that young people see that that's where you can make a great living and live locally, but we need your help. And the example here is we have a young person who's trying it out at the skills competition. Do you come to the skill competition? Are you getting information from us? Please know that we want you to be part of that so that you can be part of the co-planning together and see your future talent, your future employees who are at those events. So very last, there are cards sitting at your table. I don't know if we have enough time right now, Anne, but we will ask if before you go for lunch, your ticket out the door is to jot down in 5 minutes your first impressions. We'll take these as your ticket out the door for lunch, and we'll use your feedback to help us to shape a draft plan that we look forward to bringing forward to the community for further consultation and conversation within the next year. We need to get this right. We need to understand who do you need to work with you as future employees. We have them already, 27,000 of them in our school system, and we want to make sure that they're prepared to lead a successful life. That's our school board's mission, and we want to make sure that they have the option to stay local if they can. I'm appealing to the parents and grandparents in the room, and that's my final word here really, which is to say we want our children to live close by. That gives us joy, but what gives us more joy is to know that they're happy and doing something that they want to do as a lifelong pursuit. So we need to address number 2, and hopefully it lends to number 1. Thank you for your time today. It was a pleasure to be here.